What's up, everyone? Special shout out to Chantel Simone. She does really good work. Be sure to go follow her. Let's dive right into it.
To a certain age and you have never been in love, you have never been in a healthy relationship, that says more about you than it does about the men. Hey YouTube, this is Chantel and I use my channel to speak with women who genuinely want to be better at dating and relationships by understanding certain topics and certain talking points from men's perspective. Now, I try to keep my channel as solution based as possible. However, in order to get to the solutions, we gotta discuss the problems. And the problem we're gonna discuss in this video are older women who just cannot accept accountability, who cannot acknowledge, self reflect, and take responsibility for the fact that they did not learn how to love and work with a man.
And that's a good point. You're seeing a lot of this. You're seeing a lot of older women reject any and all constructive feedback, especially when it comes from men.
Instead of self reflecting and passing on this information to younger generations so they don't repeat those patterns, they will just rather blame the men. This video was inspired by a clip that I saw with Miss Vivica A. Fox. Someone asked her why she doesn't have any kids, and she said, oh, she's still fulfilled even without kids, and some way, somehow.
But is she, though? I don't think she is. And I do believe that she had a solid opportunity with, what's his name, Curtis or 50 Cent. Um, and she blew it. She messed it up. So
She was able to turn the conversation and highlight that there are not a lot of men around, and she didn't find a man that she felt could be a good father.
And it's so weird too because you would think that her status would bring about a higher echelon of men, um, but for some strange reason she couldn't even cooperate with these guys. That just goes to show you that it's tough for men to find decent women. So
I'll post the clip right here so we can discuss it. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button to help me grow my channel. Let's watch it.
Please do not get me wrong. I absolutely love children. In my life, it was career over children. And I never met the man that I could have children with. I didn't.
why is she getting an applause? Yeah, girl, right on. Why get praise? That's nothing to applaud over. That's sad.
I almost made that mistake. And 3 months before, my family was like, you will not.
At 57 years old, you did not find not one man that's worthy enough to have kids with, and then you don't realize that that's a problem. You don't realize that as a woman, you were literally placed on earth to partner up with someone, to build relationship, to reproduce with someone. And at 57 years old, you can confidently stand on a platform and say that you did not meet a man good enough to have kids with, and then you're pushing the blame that it's the men's fault while you, a 57-year-old woman.
And to be honest, just to kind of piggyback off of what Chantel is saying, I mean, Vivica A. Fox, I mean, at this point, I mean, while a lot of men would have fun with her, she's not marriage material. I mean, she's 57. I don't foresee any men rushing to marry her, even at her status. I mean, that'll be kind of a waste. And she has, I mean, at that point and at that age, she has way too many bad habits. Even though she looks decent for her age, but even still, I mean, even with all of the Botox injections and everything, it's still, I mean, the age is still there. Something as simple as giving a man a baby, that's something that's long gone.
Did not learn how to love and work with a man. The purpose why you were placed on earth. You should have been embarrassed to mention that you are not good enough for a man. That should have been embarrassing. But instead,
And that's my sentiment. Why is the audience cheering and praising her like she's some hero, like she's like some Robin Hood or something? I don't get that.
we hear how these women were clapping her on when she
Yeah.
said that part. Notice how these women were praising her because she said that she did not find a man that's
So this sort of stuff is very obvious, and it's sad that this behavioral trait is continuing, especially in the black community.
good enough. That's the dysfunction that we have in the black community, and that's the dysfunction we have amongst black women. Instead of looking in the mirror and saying, wait, why can't I learn how to work with a man? What's wrong with me? Why I can't get along with a man? We'll much rather say, oh, well, there are no men out here. It took me when I was around 27 to self reflect when I got frustrated with my relationship patterns at 27. I started self reflecting and started asking the hard questions. What is it about me why I can't attract a good man? And a lot of us black women claim to be spiritual, we claim to be Christians.
Which is all BS. 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. And you're gonna notice too, a lot of churches, you're gonna see an overwhelming amount of women in these churches as opposed to men. You're gonna see a lot of older men, the old perverted ones. But for the most part, you're not gonna see too many young men because men are hip to the BS. Men are hip to that church is you know, to say it as nicely as possible, a scam.
And if that's true, if you're gonna claim to be Christian, then you know that water seeps at its own level. We know that we attract who and what we are. So if we are unable to find a good man, it says a lot more about us than it says about the man. And for having women to be clapping her on to the fact that she didn't find a good man and nobody's questioning, wait sis, that means something is wrong with you.
Yeah,
How the hell
yeah.
at 57?
There's no goddamn accountability, none whatsoever, and that's sad. That is so goddamn sad. None. It's always the men's fault.
7 years old, you don't find one man on this earth to
As Vivica A. Fox, come on.
reproduce with, the purpose you were placed on this earth. And we continue to have that narrative. We continue to push that. Instead of her saying, young ladies, learn how to get along with a man. Instead of her saying, I made my mistakes. I lived 57 years and still didn't learn how to get along with a man.
57 years old this woman is. Unbelievable.
So don't repeat my patterns. Don't repeat my mistakes. Instead of saying that, she's proud of saying that she didn't learn how to work with a man. That's concerning. That is so concerning. I'm using my channel to bring.
And, to be honest, I don't even think there's that much therapy in the world that could help Vivica A. Fox at this point because she's way past any age of reason. I mean, she's going to reject any and all constructive feedback any psychiatrist, any therapist would try to throw at her. So anything now is just futile. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. Now she's just, doing all bad by herself at this point.
Bring an alternative to that narrative to bring balance to the conversation because it's not just the man. You cannot blame the man. If you get to a certain age and you have never been in love, you have never been in a healthy relationship, that says more about you than it does about the men. So we need to start looking in the mirror and asking ourselves the hard question.
All right, everyone, I'm going to stop it right here. Be sure to go follow Chantel Simone. She does really, really good work, and I'm an avid follower of hers, so be sure to check out her YouTube channel. Until then, see y'all later.